So notice, past perfect. Here we have the structure, had, plus the past participle of a word, of a verb, okay? For example, I have never seen something like that. I had broken up with her, and the negative form. She hadn't had time to explain it. And here under you have the structure, affirmative, subject, had, past participle object, negative, subject, had not or hadn't, verb in past participle plus object, and questions, had, subject, verb, and complement, okay? But we often use just, already, still, ever, and never, as we did with the present perfect tense. So what is the past perfect visually? We have the past, the present, and the future. The past perfect describes events that happened in the middle of another event in the past, or which passed in the past. For example, so past perfect is an action in the past that happened before another action. For example, okay, for example, this is past perfect. I had already drank a cup of coffee. I had already drank a cup of coffee before this class began. So this action happened before this action. Okay, as it says, before. So the action that was first in the past used past perfect, and the action that happened then or after the past perfect action is the simple past. That's the combination we use. We can use before, we can use when, and you can say, okay, miss, and if I want to use past perfect alone, what can I do? So as I said, past perfect first in the past, okay? Past simple after the past perfect action, okay? Here in the middle, we can have, for example, wait. Here we can have when, before, basically when and before, okay? But if I want to use the past perfect alone, I can say, sorry. I can say the expression by the time. By the time I was in Ecuador, comma, I had already arranged how long I stayed. Okay, so at the moment, I had been here in Ecuador, I had already arranged how long I stayed. Okay, so I have this expression by the time. Okay, I can use it also the other way. By the time I had already arranged how long I stayed, I was in Ecuador. Okay, but usually this is the combination we use.
But the time is with the past simple.
at the moment. Most of the time is that. Most of the time, not all the times. Okay. As well as I can say, before you arrived, I had given a test to another student. Okay. Student, this is wrong. Let me write it correctly. Before you arrived, I had given a test to another student. Okay. So, but I can also say I had given a test to another student before you arrived. Okay, so notice I can have the before or the when at the beginning, comma, and the past perfect. Okay, I can also use them with when. When this class started, comma, I had already finished the earlier one. I missed the L. The earlier one. Or finished the earlier class when this class started. Okay, so notice I can have the when or the before at the beginning and then the other sentence. No matter the position, the sentence in past perfect is always the first action in the past. Okay. No matter the position, comma, the past perfect action was the first to happen. Okay. No matter the position, past perfect can be at the beginning of the sentence or at the end of the sentence. Okay. Questions up to this moment, Carlos, Eduardo? Or no problem?
Okay.
Up to this
I,
moment. Carlos, do you have any question about the structure of the past perfect and the way we use it?
No, not
No. It is,
when when a
yes.
before we use it when a before in past perfect like auxiliary.
No.
No,
When, no when, had is the auxiliary for the
had.
past perfect. Yes,
Okay.
as I can say, as we can see here. Give me a second. Okay. Lord. Okay. Now this is past continuous. Simple past versus past progressive. Here it is, past perfect. Notice, present, affirmative, had is the auxiliary. Negative, hadn't. Question, had at the beginning. Okay. Notice this is another way to see it. Simple past, past perfect before simple past. So notice past perfect tense. Give me a second. Let me put it smaller so you can see it. Okay, notice all the way we can use the past perfect. Of course, when you have past perfect at this level, okay? You use only the two first things, okay? Only the two first. Past perfect, used for a past action already finished when another past action happened. After the film had started, we arrived, okay? Or a past action that started in the past and continued up to a given time in the past. I had never seen him for 5 days, or I hadn't seen him for 5 days. Remember that perfect tenses are usually used for periods of time, okay? That's why we can use the past perfect for an action that continued for a given time. For example, I had lived in Venezuela all my life before I came to Ecuador. Okay, let me put that example down here. For example, I can say I had lived in Venezuela all my life. Okay. I had lived in Venezuela for all my life. Of course, before I came to Ecuador. Okay, and I have a period of time for all my life. Okay. Or I had slept 8 hours during the last week. Okay, so when we have an activity, an action in the past, and we use a period of time, we can use the past perfect. Okay? Questions up to now? Remember, the only use of the past perfect that you need in B1 is only the first two. Okay, only this. Only this. Okay? Questions about the usage with a period of time in the past? No problem?
No, no problem.
A second, let me see if I can find the other. No. So questions about the past perfect? No problem? Carlos, Eduardo?
No problem.
Remember, we use past perfect to talk about actions in the past. The first action in past perfect and the second action in simple past. And you can ask, teacher, but I have seen Peter got up and went to the toilet. What's the difference? We use simple past for sequence of events when the actions are continuous. I got up, I went to the toilet, then I fixed a cup of coffee, and finally I started my class, my first class. So it's a sequence. But when I say I had already drank a cup of coffee when my first class began, it means that it's not, I drank the coffee and immediately the class began. If you remember the image, okay, you notice that past perfect, a period of time, simple past. Okay, let me get it back so you can see it here. Okay, notice that here, that is the image we used for mentioning the past perfect. Notice that I have some space, some time in between the first action and the second action. Notice that here I have a period of time. It is not a sequence. Some time passed between the past perfect and the simple past. How long is it? It is not mentioned. But I can say I had waited for you during 10 minutes before you arrived. Okay, so in between, I I had waited and you arrived, there is a period of time. That is why we don't use past past. Okay? Past past is for a sequence of events. When you do something and immediately you do another thing and immediately you do another thing. Something like this. Let me move this here. Okay, when I say, for example, first, I got up at 6:30. Let me write it again. First, comma, I got up at 6:30 a.m. Then I went to the bathroom, comma, fixed some coffee, fixed some coffee, comma, turn it on my computer, and finally, I started my first class. So this is a sequence of events. There is no time in between. First action, then I went to the bathroom, fixed some coffee, turned on my computer, finally I started my class. This is a sequence. Everything happens immediately after the other. But if I want to use the past perfect, I can say, I had already fixed some coffee before my first class started. So notice all these actions in between, all these actions, for example, turn it on my computer, this action is between fix the coffee and started the class. They are not consecutive. That's why in the second example, I use past perfect. It implica that there are some actions in between the moment I fixed my coffee and the moment when my class started. Okay? Did you get the idea? Why we don't use past, but past perfect and then simple past? Carlos, Eduardo, no problem?
No, no problem.
Carlos, it's okay?
It's okay.
Okay, so give me an example using past perfect and simple past for an action you did today. You did yesterday. Let me give you an example before. The electricity had returned, okay? Because you know we have here, I don't know in Guayaquil, but in Quito, okay, we had power cuts. In my case, for example, today it starts at 10 and finishes at 12, okay? So yesterday, the electricity had returned when I ate my lunch. First, the electricity returned, then after a period of time, I had lunch. Something like Okay, electricity returned at 12 m. A las 12 del mediodía, and I ate lunch at 1:30. Okay, so can you give me an example of how to use each verb tense? Think a little and then give me an example. Think a little. You have 1 minute to think. Remember, 2 actions you performed yesterday, like this one. First action in past perfect, second action in simple past. Okay? One minute, don't worry. There is still time. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Eduardo, give me your sentence.
Okay. I have to fix it.
I have to fix it.
25
25.
cheesecakes before I ate my lunch.
Good. So first, you fix the cheesecakes. And after you fixed it, you ate your lunch. Very good. Carlos, so you got the idea of the past perfect. Carlos, which is your sentence?
After the electricity off, I had bought my lunch because I can't wait.
I couldn't because we're talking in past tense. After I left off, I had my lunch because I couldn't wait. I forgot the I, but I had my lunch. Okay? So it's completely right. You got the idea of using the past perfect, okay? Let's do some exercises while we still have 15 minutes for classes. So let's do some exercises, okay, on the topic. So sure, you got it. That's nice. Okay. Let me put it larger so Eduardo can see the, okay. So here, past perfect positive or negative, okay? Make the positive or negative past perfect. When I arrived at the cinema, the film, Carlos,
I can see the screen, Miss.
you can see it. Let me see.
No.
Of course, I'm not sharing. Stupid me. Okay, here you have. When I
Yes.
arrived at the cinema, we start.
Start.
So when I arrived to the cinema, the film.
This is the option, check and show.
No. Just you say the sentence that comes after when I arrived at the cinema. The film.
Started?
Started.
Had
Had
started.
started. Had started.
Yes, because it's past
Okay.
perfect. We have here when I arrived at the cinema, simple past, and we talk about the action before that had started. She in China before she went to Thailand. Let's see, Carlos. She
She had lived.
had lived. She had lived in China before she went to Thailand. Eduardo, after the shellfish, they began to feel sick. Oh my God. After
they had
mhm.
out
No. Past participle of eat, eaten.
eaten.
Eat, ate, eaten. After they had eaten the shellfish, they began to feel sick. Carlos, if you, to me, you would have got the job. This is the third conditional. Don't worry about it. You're going to study it in B2. Okay? So if you, Carlos,
If you had listened to me.
listened to me, you would have got the job. Good. Eduardo, Julie didn't arrive until after I had
live.
Past and past participle is the same for live. Present simple live, past tense of live.
I can remember. Live is past tense.
Left.
Left.
Live, left.
Like left behind.
Okay. Yes. Carlos, when we dinner, we went out.
When we had finished dinner, we went out.
When we had finished the dinner, we went out. Good.
Okay.
Eduardo, the garden was dead because it
had was.
No, be.
Be.
Past participle of be.
Be.
Simple present, amar is. Past tense, but was where. Past participle of be.
Is. Oh my goodness.
Been.
Been. Jesus Christ. I have to practice more.
Yeah, no, you have to check your list of past participles, okay? Carlos, he, her, somewhere before.
He had met her somewhere before.
Had met, not meet, met. Okay, nice. Eduardo, we were late for the plane because our passports.
We had forgotten.
Yes, we had forgotten. Okay. You can use forgotten or you can use forgot. Okay.
Forgot.
Yes, with forgot, forget, forgot, forgotten, or forget, forgot, forgot. Okay, it's like get, got, gotten, or get, got. Both are correct. American people use forgotten more often than forgot. Okay. She told me, Carlos, a lot before the exam.
She told me she had studied a lot before the exam.
Had studied a lot before the exam. Great. Eduardo, the grass was yellow because it not rain. It
It hasn't.
past perfect.
Oh, okay. Because the grass was yellow because it
Negative of had,
hadn't.
hadn't,
Hadn't.
hadn't
Um,
rained.
rained.
Okay, regular. Ah, is this hadn't rained? Ah, that is correct. Ah, of course. Rained. Okay.
Rained.
Carlos, the lights went off because we not paid the electricity bill. Oh my God.
We hadn't paid the electricity bill.
We hadn't paid.
Oh, late.
We hadn't paid. Pay, paid, paid. Okay, nice. Eduardo, the children, their homework, so they were in trouble. They were in problems.
The children
not
hadn't.
do their homework. Hadn't.
Hadn't.
Yeah, probably with the past participles. Do, did, and
Didn't.
no, past participle of do.
Oh, okay. Past parts. I say it after.
You gotta check your list of past participles.
Yes.
Done.
Don't.
Do, did, done. It's like make, made, made. There is like a kind of trick. It's not 100% sure, but most of the past participle has an N. Drink, drank, drunk. Do, did, done. Swim, swam, swum. So most of the time, the past participles have an N. Okay? When they are irregular, forgotten, been, eaten. Okay, except for the regulars, most of the times when you have a past participle, it has somewhere an N, an U and an N. Okay, done, eaten. Okay, Carlos, they. So we went to a restaurant. They
Hadn't eaten.
hadn't eaten. Eaten. So we went to a restaurant. We couldn't go into the concert because we not bring our ticket. Eduardo?
We hadn't brought
our tickets. Yes. Carlos, she said that she not visit the UK before.
She said that she hadn't visited the
Hadn't
UK.
visited. It is regular. The UK before. Okay, Eduardo, Julie, and Anne not meet before the party.
Julie and Anne hadn't
Mhm.
met before the party.
Hadn't met before the party. Good. Carlos, when he arrived.
Uh, I hadn't had.
I hadn't had. Yes. Eduardo, he not used email before, so I showed him how to use it.
Okay. He hadn't used
He
email
hadn't
before.
used email before, so I showed him how to use it. Good. Carlos, to finish, you not study for the test, so you were very nervous.
You hadn't studied for the test.
For the test, so you felt very nervous. Okay, something I have noticed is that sometimes you have problems with the pronunciation of the D, the final D in regular tenses, okay? Actually, the ED can sound like a T, like a D, or like a, let me write here because the other is not here. Okay, sounds like a, sorry, sounds like a, this here. Okay, like something we call a schwa. Sorry, let me copy this correctly. Okay, that is this. That sound is like like you say, this is Notice that there is no difference. A, E, I, O, U. And this one sounds like And you get it together and you say uh, uh, Notice there is no difference. So how can you know which ones sounds T and which one sounds D? When we have ED like ET, is because the letter that comes before the ED is a mute. What does it mean, a mute? It doesn't make any vibration in your throat. For example, okay, if you say fix, there are air, but your throat didn't vibrate. So, fix. Miss, pero oigo las, sí, pero no produce vibración. Okay, so we said like, fix it. When you pronounce, it sounds like a T. Fix it. Fix it. Not the, but fix it.